Imagine growing up on a quiet farm where the mornings are filled with golden sunlight, the smell of hay, and the laughter of two sisters who share not just blood but the same heartbeat. Now imagine that peace shattered by cruelty. Bullies who thought their power could break one of the girls, leaving her bruised and broken. But what they never expected was that her sister, the other half of her soul, would rise stronger than they ever dreamed, and she would make them pay. Stay with me until the very end, because this is not just a story about pain and bullying. It's about courage, justice, and the unshakable bond between two farm twins who prove that love can turn suffering into strength. On the outskirts of a small town, tucked away between wheat fields and a red barn, lived the Miller twins, Hannah and Hope. They weren't just sisters, they were reflections of each other. Hannah was the quieter one, gentle as the sunrise, the kind of girl who'd stop in her tracks to rescue a bird with a broken wing. Hope, on the other hand, carried fire in her eyes. She was bold, protective, and unafraid to speak her mind. Together, they balanced each other. Hannah's softness and Hope's strength. Life on the farm was hard work, but it made the girls strong. They would wake before dawn to feed the animals, race each other across the fields, and sit under the old oak tree to dream about the future. They believed nothing could come between them. But school was a different world. The twins had always stood out. Their farm clothes, their worn boots, and the fact that they worked after school made them targets. A group of local boys, led by a ringleader named Derek, saw them as easy prey. Derek was tall, broad-shouldered, and spoiled by a family who never told him no. He and his friends thrived on belittling others, and when they set their eyes on Hannah and Hope, the bullying began. At first it was small, mocking their clothes, calling them farm freaks, and snatching their lunch trays. Hope often stood up for them both, her sharp tongue silencing Derek for a while. But one day, when Hope stayed home sick, Hannah walked into the storm alone. It happened on the bus ride home. Derek and his gang surrounded Hannah. They laughed, jeered, and when she tried to move past them, one shoved her hard. She stumbled, hitting her side against the metal seat edge. Before she could recover, Derek smashed her books to the floor, then shoved her down again. The entire bus seemed to erupt with laughter, but Hannah's world went silent. Pain seared through her ribs, tears welled in her eyes, and for the first time, she felt truly powerless. When the bus screeched to a stop, Hannah limped off, clutching her bruised side. Hope was waiting at the gate, her face lighting up until she saw her sister's tears. Her hands trembled as she helped Hannah inside, carefully lifting her shirt to see the purple bruise already spreading across her ribs. Hope's fiery heart cracked wide open. That night, while Hannah lay in bed wincing with every breath, Hope sat awake in the dark, staring at the ceiling. She could hear the faint cries of her sister, muffled by the pillow. And in that silence, Hope made a vow. No one, not Derek, not his gang, not anyone, would ever hurt her sister again. If the bullies thought they could smash one twin and walk away, they hadn't met the fury of the other. The next morning, Hope's anger burned hotter than the farm sun. But she didn't act rashly. She was clever. Her father always said she had a head like steel. She waited, planning, watching Derek and his friends carefully at school. She noticed their routines, the way they strutted through the hallways like they owned them, and most importantly, their weaknesses. But it wasn't just revenge she wanted. Hope needed to protect Hannah, to show the bullies that the Millers weren't to be toyed with. She spent her evenings teaching Hannah small self-defense moves in the barn, turning their wooden floor into a training ground. At first, Hannah was hesitant, still sore from the attack, but Hope encouraged her. She told her sister, "You don't need to be me. You just need to be strong enough to stand." Then came the day. Derek and his gang thought it would be funny to corner the twins behind the gym after school. They sneered as they surrounded them, certain this would be another easy humiliation. But this time, they weren't facing the same fragile girl they had beaten down. They were facing both sisters, and Hope's fury. When Derek lunged, Hope sidestepped and shoved him hard, making him stumble into a trash bin. Laughter broke out, but this time it wasn't in Derek's favor. His friends were stunned as Hope's confidence cut through the air like lightning. Another boy tried to grab Hannah's arm, but she remembered the moves her sister had shown her. With one twist and a sharp shove, she broke free, leaving him shocked and stumbling backward. The bullies weren't prepared for the fight they started. Every shove they gave was met with double the force. Every insult was silenced by the sisters' unity. Derek, red-faced and humiliated, finally lunged at Hope in desperation, but she ducked and he crashed into the dirt. The moment was electric. The same crowd that once laughed at Hannah now cheered for the twins. Derek's power, built on fear, shattered before everyone's eyes. For the first time, the bullies realized they weren't the hunters anymore. When the dust settled, Hope stood tall, her hand gripping Hannah's tightly. Derek's pride lay broken on the ground, but the sisters walked away stronger than ever. From that day forward, no one dared to mock or lay a hand on them. Not because of fear alone, but because the entire school had seen a truth no bully could deny: the power of a bond that could not be broken. Back on the farm that evening, under the orange glow of sunset, Hannah hugged her sister tightly. Her voice trembled as she whispered, "You saved me." But Hope shook her head, tears brimming in her eyes. "No, Han. We saved each other." And in that moment, the twins knew something unshakable: bullies may smash, they may break, but love, courage, and unity will always rise stronger than hate. So, when you think of this story, remember, courage isn't about being fearless. It's about standing up even when you're hurt, and fighting not just for yourself, but for those you love. The Miller twins proved that no matter how dark cruelty can be, the fire of sisterhood and justice will always burn brighter.